All right, man. Season 7, episode 1. Round of applause for that.
Wow.
New season.
Wow.
New season.
New setup.
And that's right. And it's important that we have a guest to make sure that we start off the new season the right way, man. This is major. Round of applause for Bailey Jackson Sports.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
In the building. Going crazy on TikTok, Instagram, covering all things sports related in a great way.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Appreciate it.
Bailey, where can everybody find you?
Like you said, IG, TikTok, Facebook. I'm trying to expand into Twitter and YouTube.
Gotcha.
Bailey Jackson Sports.
You on Facebook?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's old on there. You all right?
People use Facebook. Y'all don't use
old on there,
But
man.
see, what I learned when I started off, my aunt told me that Facebook is the best way to monetize videos. Aside from, it is always
that's where they be at.
Yeah, exactly. Aside from YouTube, Facebook, like Reels, and that's exactly what happened for me. Is I maybe put out, I want to say 20 or so videos, and like that 20th one hit. And I started monetizing my content. That's the only reason I'm posting it on Facebook.
Yeah. There we are lacking
to monetization.
Yeah.
We always learning something late.
They hate Facebook. They're like,
because my mother's on there still doing chain letters. It bothers me.
Well, she's wild.
Y'all be careful out here. It's a gang initiation. They rear ending y'all. Don't get out the car.
Oh, they still do the thing where you post a letter like, I don't allow Facebook to steal any of my pictures.
Oh my God.
Oh, they're still doing that shit.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
I find it very entertaining. I be on Facebook every day, so it's entertaining.
Nay.
Shout out to Facebook. I'm not on there.
I just go in there. Oh, hey, thank you for saying something about my kids.
Yeah.
I'm leaving now.
Yeah.
Grandparent Central.
Y'all in a month.
Right.
But shout out to Bailey though for doing your thing and being able
thank
to
you.
monetize your content.
Thank you.
Which is something we're trying to do. So
What's the hesitancy on Twitter?
shout out to you.
I was never on Twitter.
Okay.
So I'm just getting familiar with it, honestly.
Really?
Yeah.
That's impressive.
That's my domain. I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm all about Twitter.
Well, see, I feel behind because it's like everybody uses Twitter, right?
It's a newspaper.
Pretty
it's
much.
my newspaper
And
for
that's
sure.
the thing is like when you look at all the different social media platforms, it's like Twitter is the one where you're going to get your current news.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, well.
True or false?
True, yeah.
it's
True
there.
or false. You never know what you're going to get.
Not sure.
But, regardless of that, it's still, people are going to go there for, it's like, okay, well, what's coming out now? What's hot? What's new? And I was like, okay, well, I'm posting the hot new stuff. I need to be on Twitter too. So that's what's pushed me to post more on Twitter, but it's still just, I need to get consistent with it. So,
That's real.
yeah.
Man.
And you didn't even get it when it was like, wow.
You missed the
Twitter. It
pinnacle.
kind of sucks
I
now.
know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we saw some old niggas, but yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
She said, yeah.
We built this in that Drake video.
This is what they're raving
Probably
about.
not.
See this right here? We built this.
What is
For
here
sure.
before us?
It wasn't.
Indeed.
We did.
We that Twitter, that's ours.
Yeah.
You know what
Instagram
I'm
too
saying?
damn there too.
Yeah.
Yes, IG
Hey.
back when there was only 12 likes
you
available
okay?
for you.
Oh man.
12 likes was a good.
Yeah.
I remember when
you
12
got
likes was solid.
a good 9 was like, well, I got 9 today.
Right. It was
I'm
a good
moving.
day.
I might post
Oh,
it
that
again.
that ain't nothing these days.
But those
No.
days, yeah, for sure.
Nine's depression.
9, you're
Not
deleted.
depression.
Take it
Yeah.
down.
Well,
Let me
nah,
take
it's
this
like, oh,
down.
you fake.
Try peak hours. Everybody sleep. Let me
Fuck
go
the
ahead.
algorithm be hating on me, bro. It's the
sure.
Oh, yeah.
algorithm.
And actually, if the Instagram picture, if it don't get enough likes in like the first 20, it got to go.
Archive it.
That's
quickly.
crazy.
It got to hit like
That's
20 or
crazy.
30 in the first 20 minutes, or I'm getting
Indeed,
rid of it.
man.
I'll try it tomorrow.
For sure.
That's fair.
Hey, man, listen, we always start off every single pregame podcast interview with the pregame podcast pop quiz. We ask you flurry of questions. You just do your best to answer.
Okay.
All right, I'll go first.
These are fun questions, by the way.
Okay.
Any sport, any crazy story or scandal that you could cover from all of history, what would it be?
All of history. Penn State.
Oh, wow.
Whew.
Yeah.
Yes.
Heavy hitter.
Got dark in here.
Yeah.
Penn State.
Two-hand touch.
Yeah, that's got to be
That
top.
was a wild time.
Does
But-
it have to be top? No, I'm sorry.
But I feel like most people don't know about Coppin State, the Coppin State basketball scandal.
I try to tell them about that on here, and they said, "Ooh, what a look!" And then they
We didn't believe him.
didn't believe it.
It didn't
believe it?
sound
Refresh me on
believable.
Coppin State basketball.
please,
Okay,
man.
okay. So Coppin State, I learned about this story back in November, and I was fortunately one of the first people to cover it. And basically what happened is there's this basketball player, his name is Eben Williams, and he's coached under Juan Dixon. This is kind of what blew the story up. So Juan is the husband of Real Housewives of Potomac star Robin Dixon.
Robin sucks.
You know her?
Yeah, Robin fucking sucks.
No one
I
likes
can't
Robin.
stand Robin. Go ahead, though.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So
That's ROBYN. That's a
Yeah,
Rob.
I can't stand her
Yeah.
monkey ass. Sorry. She's on my nerves, man.
I learned apparently a lot of people are not a fan of her. But yeah, so Eben was was playing under Juan, and there was this assistant coach. His name was Coach Brownlee. And I guess, Brownlee was sending Eben or impersonating a woman, right? Catfishing, right? Catfishing this woman. Yeah, basically. Not catfishing a woman, but catfishing Eben, portraying himself as a woman, right? And it went on for, I want to say, a good year and a half. And then eventually Brownlee approached Eben and he was like, hey, I'm getting catfished by this same woman too. And he's like, the only way that's going to stop is if we record a sexual encounter with each other and send it to her. So
what?
Yeah,
that's a nasty.
That was your Hail Mary. Let's fuck, so she'll stop talking to it. What?
Yeah.
Call home.
Yeah, it was bad.
Did he do it?
Yeah.
Evan!
Because he was just gonna expose like the pictures, right?
Yeah, that was the thing.
Oh, you just have to put me on the internet.
It was either they recorded the video or all the pictures and everything he sent to Brownlee, the woman, was gonna get leaked, and he was afraid that he was gonna lose his scholarship because of that.
I bet he lost it any damn way.
He did.
Yeah.
And that was the worst part of it, in my opinion, is that after all of that happened, everything got leaked. The videos, the pictures, all of it.
So he had a sexual encounter with his assistant.
Lost of virginity,
right.
Too. That's crazy.
Right. Lost his scholarship because it went against the code of conduct for the school. Like students can't have any type of relationship with
and this is where, member. We can't get too deep in this because we're only in the pregame pop quiz, but Coppin State did not treat this student as a child. They treated him as an adult. He was taken advantage of by an adult.
Definitely.
And there you got to step in and help this kid, not say, shouldn't have been fucking your coach. That's weird.
Sorry.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Is he in prison yet?
I don't know. I don't believe so.
In prison for what? He just violated the code of conduct.
Yeah.
Because the kid wasn't under 18.
Damn, that's crazy.
So he didn't commit a crime.
It's not even like
did
sexual
some foul
assault
shit
like that.
Yeah.
That's tough.
And there's so much more to this story too.
Yikes.
There's
That's
so much
crazy.
more.
Ron Dixon, are you not on the hook for this? But that's weird because Joe
I gotta
Paterno
fight you every time I see you.
Yeah, man.
Joe Paterno went down.
Know your stats.
Ron Dixon probably should have.
Joe Paterno's his heart stopped.
Well, and see, that was the thing too. That people came after him and they're like, "Oh, we knew that Brownlee had a history of mental illness, and we knew that prior to hiring him. So that's why a lot of people are attacking Juan.
Yeah, why?
Like, why'd you bring him on the team?
The school.
Well, that's not fair. That's why you can't not have a job because you have mental illness. That's not fair, right?
The type of job you have is important.
I'm just making sure.
The type of job, but the type of job, we cannot hire you based on certain mental illness.
What do you have?
I mean, shit. He's
sexual assault offender.
Schizophrenic. I mean, we can definitely because you have a disability. So
what clinically? What clinical term makes you rape your niggas?
Mm-hmm. Borderline personality disorders. A lot of stuff you can do.
Okay.
You might be on the side. It's just like I get the code of conduct thing. It's just like he had two choices. He picked a bad one.
He did. We got to keep going through the process. That's a
Monopoly
lot.
deal. Just say that one.
That's a lot.
Knowledgeable.
Yeah. Wow. Who's got the next question?
I'm not ready.
I'll ask the question. I'm very Bloomington heavy today. You went to IU, so we have an IU family member.
It's an IU moment right now.
Yeah.
What is your go-to when you go back to Bloomington? Your go-to food? What you gotta have when I go to Bloomington?
Ooh.
That's a good question.
La Una.
See that
what is that?
And it's a new spot. So
you hit me with something.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh man.
Wait a second.
Oh. Mother Bear is closed. It's crazy. No, I'm just playing.
La Una just opened up. I want to say, like a year and a half ago.
Okay.
It's right on the corner, like adjacent to sports.
Okay.
You know where, like,
where
sports is? Yeah. So
a lot of time in sports.
They have great tacos. Like there's Social Cantina that's in Bloomington too, and there's La Una.
I just went to that here.
Yeah, they opened one up in Carmel. But yeah, La Una top tier in my opinion.
Wow. See, I'm a
street tacos. I used to be
authentic.
Yeah,
I used to be a ZNC guy, but there they had some health issues.
ZNC scares me.
And it didn't used to be like that.
Yeah,
you used to go in there happily.
It did when it was always like that.
You always ate it.
I didn't see it.
Right, but then it got like really loud. Like, hey, they got rats. It was like, oh damn.
Yeah, ZNC. I don't know. All my friends love ZNC, but I could never.
The C was for critters.
Oh, the rats gonna stop you.
ZNC, you going
the rats
there?
are gonna stop me.
I gotta go ZNC.
Are they gonna keep you at bay?
No vegetables, please. Yeah. Extra rice.
See, everyone gets the noodles. Is that the order that was the rice was your go-to?
My fried rice. What is going on in Bloomington? Y'all getting the noodles
and recipes.
They switched it up.
Wow. We're gonna
Apparently.
get into a lot more.
My
of this.
question
Okay.
is damn near bland, but who is your broadcaster of choice these days? Current.
Gosh. Can I give you like top 3?
Yeah, for sure.
Carrie Champion,
Okay.
Yeah.
Shout out to Kerry.
Taylor Rooks,
Okay.
Heavy hitters, you're saying.
and then Ashley Nicole Moss. And I feel like not a lot of people know
Okay.
about
I know.
her.
Yeah.
Research.
So she was at Sports Illustrated for a while, and she just joined the I Am Athlete team.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Ashley Nicole.
I
Bag
really
on the
like
way.
her. Yeah, she's dope. And I'm just gonna throw in a 4th, Sage Steele, since
Now,
Indiana
now,
native.
Yeah, shout out
Now,
to
listen.
Carmelo. Well, she from Carmel. Shout
Yeah.
out to Sage, but Sage be on that.
now,
baby.
you know, Sage turned on us a little
Sage
bit.
Whitlock.
Yeah,
She-
I understand.
If I met her, it'd be all love.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
from a
And
distance,
back,
it's
and
like
back when we were in college, I love Sage still.
Yeah.
she did a commencement speech for us.
For sure,
That's
but
dope.
George Floyd came around. I don't
Yeah.
love Sage still.
George Floyd hurt her in the black
She's
community. It was like
nothing.
Sage.
I get it though. She's from Carmel grad.
IU.
Sage is from
And
Carmel.
IU grad. Yeah.
She is.
So that just makes that okay.
I'm trying to rock with my guest Bailey Jackson right now.
There's definitely a connection.
That's all I'm
Just
trying to do.
Striving to do the same thing. So you
Yeah,
gotta.
yeah,
I
You
respect
gotta
that.
pay. You know me.
I thought you meant
Right.
Sage's actions were okay because you're
No,
from
no,
Carmel.
no,
Got it.
that's not what I
Okay.
said.
Cool.
That's not what I said.
Just making sure.
Her putting me in the top 4. I get.
Oh yeah, for sure.
sure.
Listen, Sage
Yeah.
still, especially from same place, same school. Like you
Makes sense.
gotta respect
the
it.
same
Yeah.
thing.
What you got?
All love. For me, okay. Favorite sports team of all time and why?
Professional or college?
Professional.
Professional.
Shit, college is professional now.
That's
Close.
fair.
Shout out to Niall.
Shout out to NILs.
Gosh.
That's tough.
Yeah, that
You
is
gotta have
tough.
a year that you really love this team.
Gosh.
Like, ooh, I love that damn team.
I don't even know if I could choose one. When did the Colts win the Super Bowl?
2006.
2006.
Yeah, gotta be Colts 2006.
What a
then.
time, Bailey.
Yeah.
Talk about it.
Yeah.
Talk about it.
I just remember. I mean, I was 6 years old at the time, so
I was about to say you
can't.
couldn't have been.
I can't speak.
Oh, how old were you when you
much on
celebrated your team?
You couldn't
Super
have been
Bowl?
that old at all.
No, yeah,
again.
but
How old were you when your team
I've
celebrated?
never
their Super
celebrated
Bowl?
one.
You've never seen
I
this.
was just asking.
So you
I
could
just had
work on
something.
80 years old.
It's okay.
yeah, the
Or
Colts,
never. But go ahead, Bailey.
Yeah,
Talk about
no,
Take us
you're
back
good.
to 06, man.
Colts 2006. Yeah, I mean Peyton Manning. That was the height of Colts.
It was crazy.
Yeah, Colts career. I mean,
All downhill ever since.
it
That's
really
not true.
has been. No, I'm gonna agree with that.
They
It's
went to
been
another
downhill
Super
ever
Bowl.
since.
We went to the Super Bowl, guys.
Did they win it?
We lost, but
Yeah,
we was there.
right.
Tracy Porter.
They
Shout out
haven't-
to IU. Make sure that didn't happen.
Yeah, they haven't recovered. But that was a good year. That was a good year. I wanted to answer that from a college
Let's
perspective.
do it. Go ahead.
Go crazy.
Ohio State. Ohio
Oh.
State football.
Okay.
Any year.
Any year.
Any year.
I'm at
That's a
2015 is
toughie.
special. 2015
I'll
has
ride
gotta
for
be
my
special.
Buckeyes.
Got you. Even though
Yeah.
you went to the Big Ten school,
Even though I'm a
it's just
Hoosier.
Hey, that's a
Buckeyes.
real
still all
thing.
about the
It's
Buckeyes.
IU makes it
Yeah.
real easy to have a different football team in college.
Yeah,
It's
It
not
does.
that
We,
difficult.
we're not.
If you were talking
football.
about Ohio basketball, that'd be different.
For sure.
Yeah,
Look, it's
that's a
crazy.
different story.
And what's the coach down there that tricked us all? Fools go. Remember we were all going
IU
viral
football?
last. Oh, we was going viral.
I
and
forgot his name.
Coach had all the crazy speeches.
Got
Tom Allen. He's still there.
Yes, man.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
still down there. He's still the coach.
And this year, I went over to my cousin's house. Luke told me, "Hey, about to go IU play today."
Tom's made a mistake. He's fallen into a
You're
trap.
ranked in everything.
Tom fell into a trap though.
And Iowa killed us.
He fell into the NIL trap and he's stuck in it now.
It's crazy.
Be a
Fubu
grassroots
wants IU
recruiter or
football. Never again.
Or be a top dog. He's not a top dog. You got a grassroots recruit. You have to get players from that want to be in your program, not
That's
players
true.
that are saying, "Ooh,
Ooh, money.
I had a good season here. Bye."
Right.
NILs are a dirty game.
Yeah. No, NIL is changing.
Yeah,
Recruiting, the transfer portal.
college football will be over soon.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
it'll be over soon.
It's interesting.
It'll be,
Cool,
it'll be
big man.
semi-pro
Get your
football.
money. Get your
Wouldn't
money,
change
please.
my day to day in any
Yeah.
sort
My
of
weekend will be
fashion.
secure.
And we're professional sports people, but a lot of people are going to struggle with it. 'Cause they love college
Below the
sports.
Mason-Dixon,
love,
for sure.
like, for example, the
They live
Buckeye
and
fan
breathe that
base,
shit.
they don't have a pro team in Columbus. So the Buckeye fan base, they're like,
Yeah, it runs
Yeah,
deep.
two
Don't
to
ruin
choose
this
from.
for me.
Pick one. There's two of them over there.
no, they don't. They'd rather cheer for a Big Ten championship than the Browns.
It's tough.
So,
And
But
then
that-
those people that are like, oh, I prefer college sports. So
yeah, that's real.
I like
That's
my
real.
players not
100%.
getting paid.
yeah.
Back
Just
on this
hustle
pure.
more, you
It's a
know?
real thing.
There's
They
a-
don't.
there's
They
a
want to get paid too.
tattoos, you know?
They want to get paid too.
Microaggression. It's crazy.
It's definitely microaggression.
It's the sports microaggressions ones that get you. I don't watch the NBA anymore.
Those guys are just
Larry Legend, Larry
They're
Bird.
divas.
It's different than. All right, let's move on, Bailey. Round of applause, Bailey Jackson, man, in the building.
Thank you.
Also, shout out to Sydney. Sydney's here as well, supporting
Yeah.
Bailey
she's in the
listeners' lounge right now.
the unfinished listeners lounge.
It's going down for sure. She's an IU grad as well. It's
Yes,
an IU
yes.
show today. Indeed. So as you kind of embarked on this journey of journalism, I'm just get straight to the point.
Mm-hmm.
What does it mean to be a journalist in this day and age as opposed to journalism before? Because I feel like you are on TikTok, you are on Instagram, you can actually get your sports news from Bailey Jackson Sports.
Mm-hmm.
Any story that breaks, she's going to cover it. So, how would you describe this new age of journalism?
I don't even like to call myself a journalist, honestly. I would say I'm a sports content creator at the end of the day.
Okay.
And I only phrase it that way is because with journalism, there's so many, it's so black and white, and there's only so
Brick
many
and mortar
things.
almost.
Yeah, you can and cannot do. And I like being opinionated. I like, putting those risky stories out there and talking about stuff that people aren't going to necessarily talk about. So I think that's what makes journalism nowadays, if you want to call it that, or sports content creation nowadays, more exciting or different, because it's like you're seeing a different side of things, where it's like there's more discussion, there's more debate, there's it's not so cookie cutter. And I mean, you've had your like CNN, Fox, where it's like, okay, you have your left wing, right wing type thing, or it's like you have your sides, but
That's ESPN and Fox News now, or Fox Sports.
yeah. So I mean, it's like it's not like it's never existed, but it's like it's evolving in a way where, I mean, for a lack of a better word, it's just different. It's just different now. And in terms of seeing that content, you don't have to go to ESPN anymore. You don't have to go to CBS Sports, Fox Sports. It's like you can hop on TikTok and you can find stuff that's credible and you may not see it on TV either. That's another thing too. I think that's a cool thing.
Oh, they will skip a story if they don't feel like touching on it.
They're not
Exactly.
talking about. You spoke about Coppin State. They're not talking about.
They're not talking about
It's a
that.
refusal.
Right. Yeah, there's some stuff they're not going to bring up, but it's still interesting. And it's like it's still stuff that people should be knowing about, So, and in terms of this day and age of content creation, sports stories, whatever it may be, I think that's the coolest part, the most different,
Sports content creation.
Yeah.
So does that mean you don't want to, if ESPN calls, or you like, I'm good?
Honestly,
Because that puts you in a box a little bit.
yeah, and I've thought about that, because I don't want to be shushed. I want to be able to speak my mind and say what I want to say and talk about the stories I want to talk about. But
Yep.
of course, they're gonna have their producers that are gonna shut stuff down and be
Right.
like, no, like we can't put that on ESPN.
Go until they shush you.
Yeah,
Find out when they
Are
shush
you familiar with
Sure.
Gary
Figure it out.
Streisky?
the name sounds familiar.
It's not Instagram. What's the other one? Snapchat. He was a Snapchat guy. And he
Okay.
used to run the Snapchat ESPN, but I think he's moved up
Okay.
to TV. And I think that's kind of him. Like, he's kind of started self Snapchat. I'm Gary Streisky. Now it's put the suit on. You got to sit down in the studio. You can't be on. You got to kind of do it the way we say it. So I just wonder what it's like. But then they call you with a check too. So Gary was probably like,
Yeah.
so what kind of time I'm supposed to wear?
right.
Right.
Blue suit or black suit?
Yeah.
Right.
So it's. I imagine it's difficult for you trying to navigate
Yeah.
that.
I mean, at the end of the day, like money talks, right?
It does. It does.
But do you want to sacrifice what you really want to be talking about
True.
for a bag? Like,
I'd like to find out.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure. I would
true.
love to.
I like to see what the bag look
Let
like.
me know.
I can make that
Silence.
decision.
that's fair.
Test my
That's
moral
fair.
compass.
You don't want me to say
Let me
what?
find
Right.
For how much?
And it all depends on where you're at too. I mean, if you especially once you have the money, it's like, well, I don't need that. I have. So it's
Yeah.
where you get in your career matters, I'm sure.
I think about like Bleacher Report, and I think about some of those companies where we were younger and where they are now. Is that where you want to position Bailey Jackson Sports? Like, are those companies? I'm trying to think of some other ones that are out there. I don't want to call them alternative, but they're up and coming,
Yeah.
if you will.
Barstool kind of.
Barstool
Overtime, Slam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that where you're like, okay, as I continue to build my brand, are those companies where you're like, you know what, I can see myself there because I can be
Yeah.
a little bit more honest with my content creation?
Yeah, that's definitely the direction that I'm looking at now. I mean, I'm not going to turn down ESPN.
Yeah.
If it
I mean,
if
you have
it
to listen to them.
right, if it made sense for me, then like yeah, for sure. ESPN was a dream for me for a while. But right now the dream is looking more like overtime. And that's been like the past 3 years. That's where I want to end up. I want to be, you know, the next overtime Tom, overtime Maddie, overtime Maya.
Nice. Make it happen overtime.
Right, exactly. Yeah, make it happen overtime for sure. I've been reaching out to them. I have a recruiter that I've kept in my back pocket over the years. So, you know, hopefully one day. But yeah, that's the direction for me for sure.
You're gonna be, and I know her.
Yeah.
I know her. I can't wait. I know her.
We made her wait 2 hours to interview her.
I know her.
I appreciate that. Hey, that's the goal. That's the goal. You see me up there on the overtime platform.
Where's overtime out of?
New York, but
Okay.
they also have OTE, the like basketball league in Atlanta.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they have a couple different offices.
Speaking of Atlanta, that's a great segue. So you're also a part of QC Sports Media.
I am, yeah.
How did that come about?
So it was an interesting story.
Shout out to QC.
Yeah,
Shout
shout
out to QC.
out, shout
Two in
out
a row.
quality control. Yeah. My friend, she had sent me something on Instagram. She DM'd me her. I don't know. It was like her line sister, or it was like someone in her sorority. It was like put on her story, hey, like looking for someone who's interested in like sports social media. She's like, hey, I think you'd be like good for this. You may want to check it out. So I reached out to the girl that put it on her story, and she's like, hey, email this account with your resume. Next thing I know, I'm getting an interview, and they're like, you know, your background
We love you,
seems
we need you.
fit.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
fire.
like we'll bring you on.
Social
So
media is crazy.
What does your role look like with QC Sports? So are you, do you help develop or create vision for the way in which they post their content? How does that go about?
yeah, so it's a little bit of that. I work with a small team. It's me, our social media manager, and then our graphic designer. And then Alvin Kamara's manager or assistant. She's also kind of a part of things as well. So she'll send
Tight.
us stuff from time to time. But yeah, so I mean, it's a little bit of, hey, you know, what's your creative input on this? We want to see what you got. And then it's just, a lot of it's just planned out. You know, a lot of it's just, you know, we have this schedule Monday through Sunday, and this is what's got to get done. But yeah, there's a lot of creativity in the end of the day.
Wow, man. Shout out
Yeah.
to QC.
Yeah,
dope.
no, it's awesome. I love it.
How do you balance both between your situation and QC too?
You know, it's really not that bad.
Okay.
And in terms of like the time management, I work a full-time job too. So it's like I do that 9 to 5. I do Bailey Jackson Sports after that, and QC is just kind of thrown in throughout the day.
Okay.
So as long as I stay on my phone, I'm good.
I was about to say, are you nervous at all? Because right now you could be missing the story talking to us.
I mean, nah, I'll be good.
Okay.
I'll be good.
He said, I'm a professional.
That's a
Yeah.
great question.
The Kyrie deal is not dry. They still trying to figure it out.
True.
No, it's
Yeah.
final.
You sure?
Yeah, it's final. They
Gotcha.
couldn't get a third team. It's final.
Got you.
Are you in position, or are you somewhere like Bailey? You like, okay, I got to make sure I stay on top of all sports media so that I can essentially attach onto a story, give my spin on it, and hope that it then blows up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so that's a daily thing.
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, I wake up early and I'm checking Twitter, I'm checking TikTok. A lot of the stories I find are like posted 2, 3 in the morning. You know what I
Wow.
mean? So it's like the quicker I get to a story, give my take on it and post it. I mean, that's kind of the goal. Is it
Right.
for me to be the first, if not, you know, one of the few people that have talked about it.
Gotcha.
Can you give a little of the sauce away? I feel like AJ Green retired today
Right.
on Instagram. Phil Yates from NFL announced it like 30 seconds after he announced it. Like, do you just have a bunch of Instagram accounts with notifications on? How do you?
Not even. No.
I don't know
have
how he could have
notifications
possibly
on.
found out AJ Green unless he told him in advance.
He probably called
Yeah.
him.
He had
We'll
to, but
see.
it's, you know, it's like a leak, or was he just watching his timeline heavily?
Some people are on it like that, but I would say he probably.
I bet that's a
knew
Brian
in
Windhorst
advance.
situation. Like when LeBron retired, Brian Windhorst gonna tell us.
Oh God,
He is. He's gonna tell us.
I ain't seen horse in the grip.
He's gonna tell us that LeBron retired.
The tour is gonna be crazy. You're gonna be sick.
Yeah, I miss it.
You'd be all alone out there.
It's okay.
No,
niggas
well,
gonna
speaking
swap
of
jerseys.
sauce though, so your content creation goes in depth and is well thought out. It's really good. Make sure you follow Bailey Jackson Sports. Are you just kind of freestyling? You waking up like, okay, I'm just go ahead and go after it? Or are you actually, writing out what you're going to say and planning your videos that way?
Yeah, no, I definitely do a script.
That's fire.
There's no way I could spitball it off the top of my head. I've tried that before, and it's not difficult, but it's so much easier and it sounds so much better when it's like, okay, here, here's the story. And that's why, so kind of funny story behind my content. I was doing on camera at first. So I would come in doing like the little green screen situation. And then I switched over to voiceovers because I was like, it just sounds so much better if I'm able to read off and like really get all my points across, as opposed to like, okay, like boom, 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 you know what I mean? Yeah. So, the script is the way to go for me. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Now, how long does it take you to write these bars? Is it 30 minutes or you gotta need an hour?
It really depends. I can crank a story out in like 5 to 10 minutes, honestly.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Professional. You're professional.
Yeah, that's real.
Appreciate it.
Now I want to talk about IU. Shout out to
Let's switch
IU.
gears to IU. I got some questions.
I got some questions too, but I want to keep it, to Bailey Jackson Sports.
Okay.
So how did IU prepare you for this? I know you graduated from the Kelly School of Business, but not the J School, as they used to call it back in the day.
Yeah,
I'm a J School kid.
Okay.
For sure. Wendell Wright School of Education over here.
That was a good episode.
Shout out to Wendell, man.
Shout out Wendell, yeah.
They changed my school before I graduated. It was SPIA when we graduated, but it used to be Hyper.
Okay.
But nah, man, so, okay.
SPH, I'm sorry, I lied.
Yeah, School of Public Health, not SPIA.
SPIA was something else.
What were you doing in undergrad to prepare you for this work? Is this something you just kind of picked up, YouTube University? Like, how did you learn how to, not saying that Kelly School doesn't prepare you for this, but this seems more like J School work. So how did you learn how to do this?
Yeah, Kelly School did not teach me any of this.
Just stressed you out.
I mean, from a marketing perspective, Kelly, came in clutch. That's what I got my degree in. So my journey, I guess, through IU is very rocky in a sense. So how I got my start, because of IU, I will say that. I was going, it was my freshman year. All the girls on my floor were going through sorority recruitment, and I wasn't about to do that. I didn't want to be a part of it, but at the same time, I wanted to be involved. And there was a house, like an open house night that we went to. There was a girl that I saw, and I was like, oh, she looks familiar, right? And I ended up finding her on Instagram. Her name is Dominique Newland. Shout out Dominique. She is a family friend of ours, and I was looking through her Instagram one night, and I noticed that she...
Creepy.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
It's not. Everybody does it.
I definitely stalked her on Instagram.
Do it.
Yeah. Definitely stalked her on
norm
Instagram.
now.
But see, this is what... If I didn't stalk her on Instagram, I would not
It's
be in the
okay.
place
It
I'm
worked.
in today.
It worked.
Yeah, it worked.
As long as you didn't accidentally double tap anything, you get money.
Exactly.
That's a panic. Oh,
Yeah, you gotta
Throw the phone across the room.
Yeah.
go back and get it real quick.
Right. But yeah, so I was looking at her Instagram, and she was at an event, and she did an interview with Eric Hunter Jr., who was previously at Purdue, now at Butler. I was like, oh, that's so dope. I was like, I was familiar with Eric, and I was like, oh, that's so fun. Like, what is she doing? And I did a little bit more research. Found out that she was doing some sideline reporting for an organization called Prep Ball Stars here in Indy. So that's really how I got my start. It wasn't anything to do with IU. But so I did like a little internship stint with them the summer after my freshman year, and came back to IU, and I was like, okay, well, what am I going to do? Now I'm back at school. What am I going to do to keep this going? And I decided, I was like, I'm just going to look at the athletic directory and just email a bunch of people and see
Hustling.
see where that leads me to, right?
That's crazy.
Yeah, and they pointed me in the right direction. Galen Clavio, he's a professor in the media school, and he runs the Big Ten Network Student U.
Wow.
Yeah, and I sat down with him one day, and he's like, okay, well, here's the application, submit your resume. And they had on the form, it was like, okay, well, what sports would you like to cover? Like, what are you most familiar with? And I was like, okay, well, basketball, football. And they're like, well, you're never going to get that. You're a sophomore, you have no experience. Right. So they put me on wrestling. So I started covering wrestling matches.
Wow.
Yeah, wrestling matches at IU.
Sport.
Yeah.
Out the mud.
Yeah.
Sport.
The basement.
how'd you move up from there? Where'd you
Gladiator sport.
So that was the issue for me is COVID hit. Yeah, COVID hit, and it was like second semester sophomore year was all at home, right? Come back, and they're not letting anybody else at sporting events aside from the teams and the team staff.
I'm surprised to let them wrestle, because wrestling is a dirty sport.
For sure.
Yeah. Well, and the thing too is I was supposed to get promoted or bumped up to baseball, so I was like done with wrestling at that point. And I was thinking, it's like, okay, well, maybe baseball because it's outside, like, you know, later in the year, like, I'll be fine. But it just, the opportunity never came for me. So that was kind of the end of my stint at IU when it came to Big Ten Network. But I will credit them, like, that was a great first more professional experience. I was say, like, Prep Ball Stars was a good start, and it was definitely a professional experience at the end of the day. But, you know, being on camera like that, having, you know, a crowd of who knows how many people watching, and being on a sport that I had absolutely no clue about, and then that's like the biggest part of being in journalism, being in, you know, content creation, sports content creation. It's like you have to be flexible. And you never know what assignment you're going to get. So that was a huge...
You cover lacrosse tonight. There's a match out there.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah, that was a huge lesson for me to learn early on. It's like, if you want it, you just got to you gotta take whatever they give you.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's nuts. Okay, who was a big-time wrestler from your moment down there when you were doing that and covering that?
Or was there one?
Yeah, I
Were
don't
there
know.
Were there NIL deals down there?
Not at that time, no.
You could be the best in the country.
Yeah, this singlet company wants to give you $1,000, bro.
Yeah, cups are us.
I want to switch gears again. I want to talk about IU, but I want to know, like, we're all IU students for the most part. We've had our fun at IU. KOK, I know Dunkirk came alive. What's a regular? If you go to KOK at 2 p.m. on Tuesday, what would you do there?
2 p.m. I don't know if I would be there on 2 p.m.
On a Tuesday.
On a Tuesday.
Yeah,
she cared about school, bro.
Yeah, I wouldn't be there 2 p.m. on Tuesday.
You got to eat $2 food. I didn't say we was drinking.
I think it's gone. I think $2 is gone. Right?
There's $2 Tuesday. Yeah. That's
still
still a
wins?
thing.
Because on.
I don't know about that.
So here's the thing. That's why I'm asking this question. For me, on a Tuesday at 2 o'clock, I don't have a class till 4.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to KOK. I'm gonna get breadsticks and wings.
I'm gonna have a Long
It's
Island.
gonna be $4. I might have a Long Island. Spend $6.
Might.
Yeah.
Go back to class. Like, ooh, I feel great.
Yep, way better.
Is that a possibility today?
Energy drink.
Breadsticks, wings, Long Island, $6.
The deals, the food is still there for sure.
Okay.
But like, I don't know if people really show up to KOK on a Tuesday like that.
You might have missed out.
What y'all eating on
Yeah.
Tuesday? Where's the cheap food?
They got money down
I don't
there.
even know.
Is that what it is? Is that much money down there?
Yeah.
Because I had to.
She's going to La Una
Yes.
That's true.
on Tuesday.
$6. I just got
It's Taco Tuesday
I
next.
might get a burger.
That's facts. Yeah, no, that's facts. That's facts.
I might get a
It really is Taco
burger
Tuesday.
and breadsticks on Tuesday, and I'm still gonna spend
So
$4.
He really wanted to connect with you
Them
right there.
days
You
are
left him
done.
hanging.
I'm
but
so sorry.
I've heard that it was gone, so I'm just glad it's still alive.
Yeah, no, I mean, they definitely, like, the Kilroy's breadsticks, they're always going to be there. They're always going to be
I
heat.
hope.
But, yeah, 2 p.m. on a Tuesday, I don't know about
So
that.
when do people? So Tuesday is dead. Just nobody goes. Y'all don't love school that much. Y'all COVID kids. Y'all don't love college
Yeah, I
like
don't
that.
care about college
Well,
like
you know
that.
what? That's a good point. After COVID, things changed a lot.
Okay.
And I didn't turn 21 until after COVID. So it's
Okay.
like, I don't know what that looked like before
Okay.
versus my experience. So it could have been like, hey, everybody's out 2 p.m. on a Tuesday.
And it was always a lunch thing. It wasn't like we're here for the
You
day.
gotta understand,
Yeah.
he was 21 when he got there, so he got on
He'd
campus.
already seen some
That's a
things.
fact. I've seen it all.
You know what I'm
By
saying?
the time he pulled up, it was time
like,
for 12 Tuesdays.
Y'all
First
still
time we
doing
went, he
this?
was 13.
Yeah, right out of orientation.
15. 15. My first little finals, I was 15.
That's ridiculous.
He left orientation right to KOK.
What a time. But it's interesting
I know how to get
because
there, bro.
definitely, I mean, it was the thing to do was be like, hey, it was free right now. Trying to grab lunch?
Now we did that, especially before night class for sure.
Yeah.
That was the move.
Yeah.
For sure.
Interesting.
I might want to talk about just women in sports content creation.
Yeah.
You know, I think about some of your big shows, First Take, Undisputed,
I don't like Molly.
Like Molly?
Can't stand Molly.
and I think
She's too biased of a moderator.
I still feel as though
Relax.
that like women, not all times, sometimes around the horn there are journalists that are women that participate in that.
Ron Horn does a good job about that.
Yeah, but for the most part, though, in those bigger shows, women are still just kind of the moderator, kind of like playing the middleman. How do you feel about women in journalism today, and where do you want to take it with Bailey Jackson Sports?
You know, I think nowadays we're fortunate to see more black women in sports journalism and more diverse women in sports journalism. But at the same time, we're still underrepresented, you know? So that's a huge goal for me, is just to see more women like me and to inspire more girls, you know, young girls who are interested in the field to pursue their dreams and get out there and just, you know, try. Because that's all it took, I think, for me at the end of the day, is like, hey, I'm just going to put this content out here and see where it takes me. And for a lot of people, it takes them far, you know? So I think as long as we can continue moving in that direction of, you know, continuing to put people like me, people like, you know, Maria Taylor, Carrie Champion, Sage Steele, Malika Andrews on TV, and then encouraging these other, you know, young little girls to do the same thing, we're moving in a solid direction. And that, you know, that's the goal for myself.
That's real. Growing up on TV, you only saw Linda Cohn. Linda Cohn was you was gonna get Linda.
Yeah.
She was with all Miss. I know she probably was like, it's just me.
Yeah.
It's all the guys.
I know she was sick of their jokes.
Yeah, tired of it.
them.
Man.
On the sideline, you get Susie Colbert, you get Michelle Tafoy. I love Michelle Tafoy.
Shout out to Pam Grier. Not Pam Grier.
Yeah.
It's Pam Grier.
Pam Oliver.
Pam Oliver.
Yeah. Pam be looking a mess, man. Pam, look, I listen.
I think Pam Grier fucked up because Pam Oliver's be
Pam
wilding
just
up
get
here.
on TV.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just here.
I do feel like the advantage of it
Velvet
though
hair.
for like men in the arena. When I was in school, you can kind of see what was coming. Like the athletes were taking over, but for like women in sports media, it's not as prevalent just yet. Like you got Candace Parker and people like that, but it's not overrun with former athletes. So I think that's a plus for sure.
Oh, at the same time, though, I mean, I've talked about this recently. Is like there is definitely organizations and companies and, you know, networks, they'll cater to athletes first, and that's what's annoying on my end too. Because I was like, I think we were watching the IU Purdue game, right? And I see Tom Crean. I'm like, what is he doing on TV? Why is he commentating?
About nothing.
Yeah, I'm like, why is Tom Crean?
How
But
about
it's
stop
like,
a 2-3 zone?
they're going to favor a
Yeah.
coach, you know, a
Correct.
former athlete at the end of the day. And it's like you have people that are going to school for 4 years, maybe getting their master's too, and they're putting all this time and work into it. And it's like you're going to favor an athlete, a
And
coach.
they get looked over.
Yeah, and it's like, I mean, I understand it. Like, I understand why, but it's at the end of the day, I'm like, really?
I mean, even the big shows, NFL Today,
Yeah.
NBA on TNT, you get one person, all coaches and athletes.
It used to be three journalists and one athlete.
Yeah.
Now it's 3 athletes and 1 journalist.
Yeah, it's you get one guy, and then everybody else. I need my
I hate
athletes and my
some of them
coaches.
niggas.
Right.
I hate
Thank
them.
God for Ernie.
Yeah,
Yeah, thank you.
yeah. If not for Ernie,
It's okay. They're gonna replace
Shit.
Ernie with Draymond. It's
well,
okay.
and
my
I
God.
won't watch no more.
I'm not watching no more.
I don't know what you don't do that. I won't be on NBA on TNT no more.
I just hate when players like I don't like become sports journalists.
Like Kendrick Perkins.
Kendrick
Rodney
Perkins.
Harrison.
Rodney, that's what I was getting. I hate
I
Rodney
think
Harrison.
Rodney does a good job.
Teddy
Rodney Harrison.
Bruschi.
Fuck
Some of
that.
these dudes do all right.
And Rodney Harrison.
I just don't like
I get it. I get it.
But some people actually suck at it. Like they're really bad.
Rodney Harrison is good. I just hate
Yeah,
it.
that's cool.
Bro,
He's never gonna pick the coach on that. He won't do it.
They gave Peyton Manning and his brother a simulcast on Monday Night Football. Just,
They gave Tom Brady
Yeah.
They did.
They're good, though. I
$14
like it.
trillion to do. I don't want to hear Tom Brady on TV.
I don't.
But it's coming.
He hasn't done a day of
And I am a
television.
Tom Brady
Right.
guy. You don't hear. I don't hear him.
People
up,
work,
Tom.
people work their entire lives to be Monday Night Football, and they just gave it to
That's
the man.
crazy.
There you
Right.
go, guys.
They've been doing a good
Do it
job.
on your couch.
Right.
They've been doing a good job though.
They
Because you
do.
like them already.
Is there still a need? And you know, I'm not into journalism. Well, maybe I am. I don't
You're
know.
a journalist.
But is there still a need to like be a good writer? You know, I think a lot of the journalists that we see that actually have made it all the way to the top, they also started writing really good articles that people attach themselves to. And they're like, oh, let's see if we can put you on
They
TV.
started writing newspaper columns.
In today's day and age, is that still something that you need to do, improve?
No, I really don't believe so.
No.
And I think to rephrase your question, being a good storyteller, that's what's the main focus. And I mean, I guess, you know, writing is a part of that, but like that's not the main focus, because you can tell a great story by spitballing off your head. You don't have to write anything down. You don't have to write any type of article, right? And some of the best reporters are just sitting there, you know, coming up with it on the spot. So, but you know, they could be horrible writers. So, I mean, I think nowadays, you know, being a good writer doesn't have to do with, it doesn't correlate with being a great journalist.
How do you walk the line between just being an opinion person versus actually presenting the information? Because now I feel like the hot thing is just telling people how you feel about something versus telling people what actually happened.
Right. No, I mean, it's a challenge, because I think it's so easy for your opinion to get mixed up in the facts of things. You know, I don't even know if I have a great answer to that, honestly. You know, you have to check yourself at the end of the day, and I think that's the importance of having a team behind your work too, is, you know, other people to kind of audit, you know, what you're putting out. I personally don't. I mean, I just kind of go.
I got you. Yeah.
I'm gonna post it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go with whatever I'm doing. Unfortunately, it hasn't gotten me in trouble, yet. Fingers crossed, knock on wood, it doesn't. But you're right. It's a fine line of reporting fact versus opinion, and then getting the two mixed up and hoping that you're not gonna get canceled for it at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's scary out here.
Yeah.
Oh
They
yeah.
will cancel you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Bye.
Amen.
Right.
Can't come back either.
Right.
Get another job.
Yeah.
See you later.
Bailey, can you teach us about TikTok? We trying to figure it out.
I'm too
How
old.
have you-
Bailey, I'm too old.
Yeah.
Yes, man. We're trying. We're desperately trying to figure out TikTok, man. How have you been able to make TikTok work for your brand and your content?
So, I got lucky. I feel like I got really lucky because I'm telling stories, right? And TikTok is prioritizing storytelling right now. Whereas it was the dances, it was the short videos, right? But
Still
now
them
it's
Black Girls
like,
dances.
yeah, now it's the, hey, sit down and get ready with me. Hey, sit down, I'm going to tell you this like long 3-minute story.
GRWM took me months to know what it meant. I just
What is it?
fuck
Oh, tell
us,
you
what does it
groom
mean?
Over there,
You're ready
suffering
with
in
me.
silence.
Yeah.
I won't ask.
Yeah.
What is groom? See? What the fuck is groom?
Yeah.
Get ready,
Get ready
with
with
me.
me.
Oh,
Yep.
the weight off my shoulders. I was like, oh,
Yep.
there it is.
no idea.
I know, because you don't want to ask either. Too old to ask.
Yeah.
You can't say that out loud.
Oh, you
We
can't
heard
say
it.
that.
I didn't say it out
Yeah,
loud.
you did.
They
We
said
heard
her
it.
during interview,
We heard
man.
But you didn't.
We gonna do it again.
You didn't know
Back
right
to
away.
Bailey.
You did not know right away.
Ain't no way you knew that was
The person
Fuck
that
outta
did
here.
it said it.
Who?
They don't say it. They just
I know.
post
I be
it
on
there.
TikTok. I knew what it is.
Fair
So
enough.
I ain't know. And what does STG mean?
Shout my nigga Destin.
STG?
Swear to
Yes.
God.
I swear to
Swear to
God.
God, yeah.
Now come on.
come on now.
I didn't.
All
right.
Nah, thank
Now
you.
you're just doing too much.
DR Groom was one thing.
Appreciate
STG,
y'all.
you knew better
Thank
than
you. I did not know,
that.
man.
She said, swear to God. Like, what you mean?
Hey,
Swear to God.
they throw
Hey,
me
shout,
for a
no,
loop.
shout out to Destin. I actually say get right with me because that's what Destin says. All the
Get
time.
right with me.
Shout out
All
to
right,
Destin.
back to
know,
TikTok.
it's
Shout out
Thank
to
you
the
for
algorithm.
this tutorial.
Have you been heated yet?
Heated.
Yeah.
Today. Here?
Really? No, on TikTok.
Oh,
That's when
just
they press
about-
the button at headquarters.
No, what does that mean?
That just came out a couple weeks ago.
What is that?
Talking about how they're picking who goes.
Yeah,
viral.
that's when they hate you. You get heated.
Oh, like who they choose who goes
Yeah.
viral.
Heated.
A couple times. Yeah.
Wow.
But I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't know that was like a thing that.
Yeah, that came out a couple weeks ago. Am I not making that up? Y'all-
I don't think so. I don't know what he did.
I know what he
We
did.
were
was.
texting a person that works at TikTok. He was keeping it very close to the vest.
Yeah, I'm thinking Bailey.
We were
mad at
talking.
us.
We just talking.
Right, I was like,
Yeah.
I'm
You
not
said-
heated right now.
You put that in the chat.
He
You
mad.
think that's
What's
what we
going
get
on?
heated? It's okay.
Nah,
Sorry.
yeah. Well, I hope we get heated.
Yeah.
Hot.
Yes.
That's when they hit the B Dubs
They
button.
went
You
viral
fucking
button.
crazy.
Yeah.
We like them.
But no, you did. You have the heated moment with Coppin State, I believe, right?
So yeah, a
Walk
little
us
bit.
through. Tell us, Bailey. Let us know.
So Coppin State, I mean that was one of my first stories that did really well. It was actually an Indiana women's basketball story. It was about them playing that ballroom in Vegas, that tournament.
Yeah,
That was
Yeah, yeah, that was one of my first videos that I was like, ooh, okay, some like decent views, right? And then Coppin State blew up, but it was really the DeMar Hamlin story for me. I did like extensive coverage of all of that, and those stories got like, millions of views.
Did he see any of it?
I mean, I don't know. I hope so.
We don't know. We don't know who's DeMar's out there. You know?
Yeah, that's true. Could've
DeMar's
Could
fine.
be another
Yeah,
DeMar.
don't know.
I think DeMar's okay.
They showed him walking through the tunnel without the damn.
Ramad.
Oh, that was him, man.
Ramad Hamlin.
Ramon Hamlin.
He's fine.
I was like,
My nigga got the
I didn't know there was-
scissors.
I didn't know. There's some conspiracies going on. And tell me this:
Yeah.
where's Brittany Griner?
At home.
At home.
Knee deep.
Yeah.
Get our girl hair back.
You're right. We haven't seen her. We haven't
Where's
seen her.
Brittany
She's traumatized.
Brittany ain't
she's at
climbed
home
out of
for
it
She
yet.
don't want to talk. Get here. Brittany is
Brittany
down there.
We saw Brittany. We saw Brittany.
Yeah.
Is
People
knee
tell you
deep
that-
in it.
People tell you that DeMar, that's not. He's fake.
No, I mean I've seen the stories. I know exactly what you're talking
Yeah.
You
about.
think DeMar Hamlin died?
I don't believe that, but there are people that in
They
this
showed
room,
him at the hospital.
But there are people in this room that do not believe that's
Yeah.
that's not the first DeMar.
I don't believe that.
That's DeMar.
So it's
DeMar
too often
Hamlin,
it
no,
was two
DeMar
of them
Hamlin is
words.
fine.
I'm just saying.
He's
He's
among
the
us.
thing is, if you were, I guess Brittany Griner wasn't a prisoner of war. I guess I don't call it that.
Nah, she wasn't. She was just a prisoner.
But she ain't talk to Gail. She ain't talk to Stephen A.
But I want to.
She talk to
I know
nobody.
Gail.
Yeah.
I know
She definitely
Gail
needs time.
is beating her line down.
Yeah, she needs time.
Gail needs another one.
Yeah.
Okay.
She
Well,
needs
see,
time.
She
I think
needs
there's
another.
strategy to her not saying anything either. Like I'm sure there's something way bigger in the works, like a
Yeah.
documentary,
Yeah.
docuseries,
that's
something.
right.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like some of these, even DeMar Hamlin, like I think we'll see something bigger from him in the
sure.
next
I
few
don't think
months.
we will. You know what?
GoFundMe money.
I think
Yeah.
DeMar will be
Go
a training camp
crazy,
next year. He'll be
DeMar.
a football player again. And I think you won't see as much because I think because it was such a freak accident, and he's okay because he's alive. He'll go back to football.
I think he's gonna funnel some of that money into his own bank account.
He better.
That's what it's
Check
for.
that
That's what it's for.
GoFundMe,
Listen,
go
Them
crazy.
kids have
Yeah.
gotten their toys.
They got their toys
Yeah.
10 times
For
over.
sure.
Take that money, bro.
Take that money,
Yeah.
bro. That's your money.
You missed them last couple game checks. Go and get that
Indeed.
money. Stop playing.
Yeah.
Quit playing, Ramad.
So will you? so, Bella, so you were just continuing to feed and continue just to storytell, and that's what kind of grew that account.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it was literally just like I'm just gonna post maybe 1, 2, 3 times a day.
It's so
And
hard.
see
It's
what's
so much
there.
work.
Really.
It is a lot of work, but once you get it once you get it down to like a science, like I said, I can crank out a story in 5 to 10 minutes. It's maybe another 10 minutes of editing, and then I'm posting it.
Just sit
So
30 minutes.
That's 20, 30 minutes out of your day. You do that 3 times a day, and
It's an
who
hour and a
knows?
half. I'm just talking shit. I just don't feel like
I
doing
know.
it, man.
It's a lot, man.
But if you want to go viral, if you want to, blow
We
up
went
your
viral one
platform,
time. It was
We
cool.
did a couple
Yeah,
times.
We got like 2 on there.
Yeah.
It
We
didn't
been
matter
heated
after
twice.
that. Yeah.
I don't know. We ain't been heated.
And now we've been.
I think heated is
Now
different.
we're on ice.
Now we on ice.
Yeah,
Well, and that's what happens too.
Yeah.
That's what happens too.
They just
'cause
put us in the back of the refrigerator. We got pushed in the
yeah,
back.
they'll put you
Get
way
moldy.
deep
Yeah, we
in
got
to get
the
cold in the
TikTok
back.
corner where you're not gonna get
With
any
the baking
views.
soda.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nigga.
yeah.
Bad.
For sure.
It's
It's
okay.
always dark back here.
Freezing, actually.
What can we expect from Bailey Jackson Sports this year? What projects are you working on?
Yeah.
What's going on? How can we get involved?
I'm still trying to plan this year. I want to do more one-on-one interviews. And that's kind of how I started off. Like I said, with Prep Ball Stars, I was doing more in-person sideline reporting type stuff. So, and I love that. I love being on camera. So I want to do, like I said, sit down, with athletes, talk to them about their life, just share their story. So Chris Evans, running back for the Bengals, Indy native as well.
Shout out Ben Davis.
Yeah, shout out Ben Davis. I have spoke to him about telling his story, being fortunate to be the one to share, his journey through Michigan, his journey through, Ben Davis, and now, with the Bengals. So that's definitely in the works for this year. More to come, kind of keeping it under the wraps right now.
We understand.
So,
That's nice.
so just follow along.
So you'll see me.
Yeah,
You'll
you'll
see.
see.
It's coming.
It's coming. I believe it is.
I
Man.
know
Round
her.
of applause
It's coming. I know her.
We got to use that angle.
for sure.
We're trying to help you tell your story.
Yeah, that's what we need to start doing.
We're not trying to interview you. We just want to tell your story.
Yeah, we just want to
Story.
tell your story.
You.
Right.
Man, round of applause, Bailey Jackson, man, for coming through
Thank you.
for sure. And appreciate your
you.
patience
Thank
as
you for your
well.
patience. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
For sure. Off camera, man. Once again, where can everybody find you, Bailey?
Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook.
Facebook.
on
All the
Facebook.
major
The
ones.
book.
Yeah, but
She's
definitely
there.
tap into Instagram and TikTok.
That's real, man.
Definitely tap into those two.
Bailey Jackson delivering quality content to people that need it in the sports
Yeah. QC.
media.
Yeah.
Shout out to QC. She's
Shout
going
out
crazy.
QC, yeah.
And shout out to IU.
Yep.
Definitely shout out to IU, man. It's cool.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's always
Nice little community.
And
we
shout
built.
out to
always
Black IU,
yeah.
too.
Yeah.
She's
It's
like
always tough.
brand new IU though. We didn't even
Yeah.
think about crossing paths.
Nah, for sure.
Long gone.
You been talking to these old guys.
Right. I think they said they got there in like 08.
Yeah. When we went there was a parking lot at the library.
They used to ride the bus.
There's still a parking lot.
No, I mean a big one.
A real one.
There's
big
a
one.
small
Real
one
parking
now.
lot.
Big one.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a
You could
big
like
parking
you
lot.
could-
you could drive up and study if you need to.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
A
we can't
big
do
parking
that.
lot.
Can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Those days are gone.
those days are long.
They tore down my old house there too.
Did they?
Yeah.
Colonial Crest?
Colonial Crest got
Colonial Crest is gone?
They
Gone.
took it's no longer exists.
gone.
Wow, man.
Wow.
The
Sorry
to hear that,
project's
man.
gone.
Projects.
Yeah,
was
well, now I
gone.
get famous. This is where I grew up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is where I
we
was
got
born.
robbed
Colonial
there.
Crest, boy.
I didn't get robbed at Colonial Crest. I got robbed in Hammond.
That was Crenshaw.
Oh, okay.
And that
Colonial
was
Crest was
Compton
definitely the Jets.
Compton and Bloomington.
It kept you rooted being in the projects while going to college.
Is Copper Beach still called Copper Beach? It's called something else now.
I'm sure it's
It
something
was
else.
called the Quarry. I think it changed since then.
The core's still around.
It's the,
Corey's still
Yeah.
around.
Yeah.
That's Copper Beach.
Yeah, for us.
Shout
Let's
out
get out of here.
Shout out to the Jacks, man. My fridge was
Next.
this tall.
It was.
Had a kitchenette,
Deuce was cutting hair, making breakfast,
raising babies, all the
taking the
same
shit,
crib.
all in the same
Yeah,
same
could
time.
reach everything I needed.
What a time to be alive, man. Shout out to IU.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bailey Jackson. We
Thank
appreciate you.
you.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Sydney, as well.
Yeah, thank you.
Indeed. Next.
Next.